Halloween edition of The Drive. What is up, everybody? It is October 31st. Happy Halloween, and we've got a loaded day. Oh, my goodness. I woke up this morning just fired up, Paulie. Fired up for today. We've got the show, of course.
Yeah.
First and foremost, you're going to have a good show. We're going to get after it. We got some great guests today. For your listening enjoyment or viewing enjoyment, if you go to youtube.com/The Drive or search the Fan Sports Network on YouTube, you'll find us on the videos under live. We're live now on YouTube every single day. We're going to have Delane Fitzgerald, SUU, coming up in less than 20 minutes.
That's a pretty good guest. After the big win in the rivalry game, getting back.
Yep,
That's awesome.
They got probably their last really big remaining challenge on the schedule.
Yeah,
if they win this one, I think they go run the gauntlet and they get to 7 wins, and then you have to wait and see if that's enough to get to the postseason. And then I would be at least half right on my preseason bullish prediction.
You like that, half right.
Yeah.
Half right's good. It's better than all the way wrong.
Well, I said 8+ wins
You did.
and a postseason appearance.
And I think we have some kind of dinner on that.
Yeah, but at least I could get the postseason appearance.
You could.
And 7 wins potentially.
And I would probably let you off on the dinner if they made the playoffs. But if they don't, I'll be collecting.
Yeah.
I like Longhorn, buddy. Medium rare.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. And if they do make the playoffs, I like Roos Chris. Medium rare.
We're traveling to Vegas or Salt Lake for...
We're getting a Roos Chris.
All right. Well, maybe I was trying to keep it reasonable, more plausible for you. But
I don't think the price changes whether it's Vegas or Park City.
Well, I was going Longhorn. It's a little more economically friendly for you.
Yeah, I was thinking,
Chris, you're trying to stick it to me.
Yeah.
Right, the golden steer.
The golden steer. He wants one of those Australian lobster
those
tails.
huge ones, yeah.
Okay, all right. Look, okay, I can go Positanos. I can go Capoletti's. What do you want to go? You want to pick something else?
No. I said I will go to Longhorn.
Well, that's a good.
If you win, if I win,
yeah.
But if you win, you're like trying to go like 5-star, like gourmet. I like this. 100%. I like where your head's
He wants to be wined and dined.
He does want to be wined.
That is a tough future bet.
It is. You want to see on the other side of this future bet, which in your defense, you verbally put in back in
August.
August. That's right.
It's August.
So the long payoff for this baby, you want something good. You want a filet, a lobster tail, maybe a little Oscar style on the steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm salivating.
Yeah, there you go. I'm getting you hungry, buddy.
So Delane Fitzgerald will be by. Maybe we'll ask him if he's going to win 7 games. We can, if Coach says, then maybe you pay up prematurely.
I doubt Coach will say we're going to run the table and win 7 games.
Why not? Why don't you ask him?
You can ask him if you want.
I just might.
Most coaches play it pretty close to the chest. And I know Delane's a little bit of a different coach. He's more candid with us and the media in general, but I doubt you'll get any coach to say, we're going to run the table with 4 games left. But he could have brash confidence, and you could be right.
I might just ask him.
We'll wait
and see.
I like it.
We'll wait and see.
All right. Keep me guessing, buddy.
Is it a trick or is it a treat? Let's get into the other guests. Jerry Cowan.
Yeah.
Jerry Cowan, head coach of the Hurricane Tigers.
You'll be out there.
I will be at the Tigers Den tonight. Coach is hopping on with us at 8 a.m., so everybody out there on the east side, they're going to be grilling up a little tailgate I saw on social media. They are fired up. Highland coming down from Sugar House to Hurricane, Utah. And the Tigers Den going to be rocking for some playoff football as they play the Rams tonight. It'll be our Boulevard home Game of the Week, and we'll have it for you right here on the Fan Sports Network and on the live stream. We will also be bringing you the Snow Canyon game on the live stream tonight, and some in and out coverage on the radio. Bouncing around. I call it comprehensive wraparound coverage.
Yeah, you like that. You equate it to the red zone a little bit.
Well, with only 2 games, it's really just, hey, let's go live and check in on the other game, and then if it's good, you stay with it for a while. If not, you go back to the other game. It's just wraparound coverage. It's not
wraparound.
Yeah, it's We don't have 14 games going at the same time.
We don't.
We have 4 games going at the same
4.
time.
Yeah.
And because we're only doing 2 of the games tonight, we are going to be giving you a lot of updates on those other games, the Crimson game, the Pineview Skyline game. Those I expect Crimson to win 55-14.
Convincingly, yeah.
Yeah, I think Timpanogos' offense might score on 2 drives, but that Timpanogos defense, when I saw them earlier in the season,
that was the game Richardson had like.
That was probably the worst coach defense I've ever seen.
Okay.
I mean, Coach Barry, who's a defensive coordinator who's doing color commentary, but he's a longtime defensive coach, he was about ready to lose his mind. He couldn't believe how undisciplined and how they could not gap control. They could not get to the boundary. They could not get to their flats. Like, the defense was atrocious against Pineview. So what's going to happen when they play Crimson?
Yeah.
So that is and we're not doing the Crimson game because I believe it's going to be a blowout. We're going to be able to do a Crimson game next week. That's my thinking there. Pineview Skyline, I think, is a good game. I know our friends across town are going to do that game. I think both those 2 games, our good buddy Andy and Carrick and those guys. So that'll be kind of fun. But with the 2 we will bring you, I think have a chance to be pretty good. I think Snow Canyon and Hurricane are both going to be, pretty heavily favored. Paulie, do you want to guess the Power Guide numbers today?
Yeah, we could do the Power Guide.
Have you looked at them yet?
I have not.
Okay, I don't know if I believe you.
Okay.
I don't know.
All
You've
right.
been nailing those numbers.
Yeah, nailing them. That's right.
We haven't done that. Actually, didn't do this last week, though.
No, that's right.
We didn't
so
do that.
maybe a good exercise this week. Give it a shot with all 4 local teams in action in town this week. Finished up the Friday night spotlight I sent over to St. George News just yesterday.
Yeah.
We got a good one to check out on stgeorgenews.com if you're looking for any preview of the game tonight. So thought I'd put that out there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Read that and then get to our YouTube page. Links will be up on our website. Snow Canyon and the Hurricane games tonight, streaming live. Updates on the other 2 from over at Pineview and Crimson. 4 o'clock kickoffs tonight. So Jerry Cowan again will join us at 8 o'clock. The other guest we've got is Lance Anderson. Of course, he's been great about joining us every Friday throughout the season, home or away. They are home this weekend, looking for a winnable conference game. They're 0-4 in the UAC after losing to the T-Birds last week, and this feels like a must-win. This feels like you got to have it against North Alabama, who's only got 1 conference win, and you're at home, and it's a 2 o'clock kickoff.
And you want to show improvement from season to season under Lance Anderson. Obviously, 1 win last year, so looking to get 2, looking to improve by 1. That'd be a 1-win improvement from last year. And not to say they can't get more than 1 down the stretch, but you got to get that first one, that second one, before you can start talking about stringing together wins. So I think you're right. North Alabama, the Lions, they've been a little susceptible defensively. They got a really talented quarterback. We talked to defensive coordinator Patrick Moynihan yesterday, and he's real concerned about the QB for the Lions. But I still think the defense played pretty well against SUU. I mean, that was their 2nd lowest offensive output points-wise all season long. Utah Tech held them to. So I think the defense played fine. They just need a little help from the offense this week.
Yeah, we'll go through that a little bit more in depth with Coach joins us. Coach was on his second hour. About 8:20 is when Coach Anderson will be dropping by the show. So we're absolutely just loaded today. We got 3 great guests. We had an NFL game last night.
Yeah.
Regular season Lamar looking pretty good coming off the injury.
That's right.
Paulie loves regular season Lamar.
I do.
And he absolutely hates postseason Lamar.
That's right.
Slinging 4 TDs last night, and I don't know what you do if you're Miami. I don't know how you won last week to get your second win, and then this week you're at home, you're prime time, and you look like absolute trash on offense pretty much all night long. You can't do anything. You can't get the ball down the field. I mean, Jalen Waddle's really your only good weapon.
Achan's pretty good.
Is a good weapon. But man, they miss Tyreek Hill. They don't have anybody. Malik Washington can't take the top off. Their tight ends can't take the top off and get open. Like there was nobody. Even Waddle's catches. If you watched the game last night, most of Waddle's catches were on the boundary on outs. They had to be perfectly thrown in front of DBs. They weren't giving Miami anything down the field. They only mustered 2 field goals last night, and Ravens Now, don't look now, but the Ravens are not out of things.
So we talked about this yesterday on From the Bleachers as me and Tara were down at the Eureka William Hill Sportsbook doing the show for Caden. And I talked about this with my good buddy. You know him. We've had conversations pre-show, but Dutchie's a big Steelers fan. And he says that the Ravens, starting this week, are going to win the AFC North. They're going to surpass the Steelers now with a healthy Lamar. And when you look at the Ravens' schedule the next couple weeks, it's like pillow soft.
And the Steelers is not.
The Steelers is not. They've got the Chiefs. They've got the Bills. They've got some tough teams down the stretch. But when you look at the Ravens, so what? They're now 3-5. Their next games are against the Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Packers. So they got some tough ones towards the end of the season. But for the next couple, I'm talking Vikings with JJ coming back in his first game or second game, it'll be at this point. The Browns with who's going to quarterback them at this point. The Bengals with Flacco on the shelf with a shoulder injury. Like the Steelers, I mean, that's a game I think the Ravens will win at home. So I think the Ravens have the potential to ascend to the top of the AFC North. I was saying this yesterday on Caden's show, and I think that they might be the champions of the North when it's all said and done because the Steelers lead. They're just at 4-3. They only have a 2-game lead on them.
Paulie,
they still got to play the Steelers twice.
You're not ahead of the curve on that thinking. The books already say that.
Okay.
If you go look at the odds to win the division right now, go look at the odds to win the division. Baltimore is already favored.
Okay.
Before last night's game by the books in Vegas. So, you're following the trend the book set on that one, if you want to know the honest truth.
Okay.
I heard Rich Eisen say the same thing yesterday. And then his producer so kindly gave out the odds, and Rich was like, well, I guess I'm right behind the books on this one. Because the books
I guess I am.
The books, I mean, you're just going with the eyeball test. I don't think you even knew the odds. I'm just saying that, yes, I agree with you, because when Vegas, who's ahead of the curve on everything, or the odds makers set those future lines on who's going to win the division, Baltimore is already favored in that division, and that wasn't the case 2 weeks ago.
It wasn't. And like when you look at the Steelers to make the playoffs on DraftKings, plus 140, no, minus 170 for the Steelers to make the playoffs, just to make it as a wild card, as the AFC North champions, whatever. They're thought of as, at this point, a favorite to miss the playoffs at minus 170. And then when you look at the Ravens and their ascension, I know Eisen, a lot of people patty-wagoning on this whole Ravens to win the North thing, but they are now minus 200 to make the playoffs. Yes, to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
No is plus 170.
Right.
So the Ravens are figured to be the favorite in the North.
They got some other guys back. They got, Kyle Van Noy's healthy. He's back.
Yeah, their defense was bad the first few weeks of the season.
Hamilton played great last night.
Yeah.
Even the blindside block at the end on the interception down the field they called on him, I didn't think that was a blindside block. I mean, he turned right into him, and there might have been helmet-to-helmet contact there.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a clean play. That's a football play, trying to, spring a guy to run it back for a pick six. Even whatever they flag it, that's today's NFL. Didn't change the outcome of the game. Can we talk about the game that we both care about for a second here?
Yeah.
You talk about wanting to go to a nice steakhouse. What is the action between our two favorite teams?
Okay.
Because we have the real Washington team, the Seattle Seahawks.
That's right.
Battling against the DC Commanders.
Just the nation's capital, right?
Yes. The real Washington is the state of Washington.
Okay.
DC is more like a district.
All right.
If you want to know the honest truth. Now, I've never been to Washington, D.C. I'm sure it's great, and the memorials, and I'm sure all the tour stops and the history, and
Your wife would love it.
Yeah,
Robin
she's
would
a
love
history
that.
teacher,
Yeah.
100%. But the football game all of a sudden takes precedent over everything.
So you want to give me 3 points, or you want to do this straight up?
Why do you need 3 points? You're at home.
That's what the books are giving us.
I mean, it's debatable, I guess, but why should I have to give you 3 points? Are you not confident in your team?
Why are you scared of giving me 3?
Why right out of the gate are you like giving me 3 points? Question mark.
I'm just
exclamation point emoji.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Wink,
I'm almost the Commanders are almost 1.5 to 1, and the Seahawks are almost 2-1 favorites. So, like, I got
What
to
do you
see
mean?
something.
What are you talking about? What context is that?
The Commanders are plus 150. The Seahawks are minus 170. So the Seahawks are a pretty decent favorite, you know? So I should get a little.
Okay, I turn to Tara. Tara, if with our two teams playing Sunday Night Football tonight,
Okay.
Yeah.
do we have to give the points? Do we have to on the wager? Because Paulie's going to be bald on
She's
Monday.
shaking her head. She
Yeah.
hasn't even answered, and I already know the answer.
I mean, they don't the points when they're 3 or less, and you're at home. I don't know, man.
All right.
Look, if you want the points, you want the points.
Sorry.
I don't blame you for asking. I'm just
Okay.
If you ask me, I say no. It's, whoever's team wins
All right.
the game.
We'll let Tara
We're going across the
make
country.
the decision here. What do you think, buddy?
I don't think you get the points.
No points. All
No.
right, fine. All right, we'll
But
go.
you got to ask.
Yeah, you got to
no harm in asking.
That's right. No harm in
Yeah,
asking.
you got to try.
That's right. So we'll do straight
But
up.
look, if it was
Although
7,
you're going to be in Mexico, so maybe you should give him the points.
why is it? What does that matter? Wait a minute.
Because you're going to be enjoying it on a beach and the ocean, and we're going to be stuck
I honestly will probably be at well, I'm hoping that
Golfing.
I'm hoping that the resort that I'm staying at has like a nice little sports grill type vibe
Okay.
restaurant with the
There you
game
go.
on. That's where I will be.
All right.
If not, you're right. I'll be poolside watching it on my phone.
Okay.
On some illegal website.
Yes.
I don't know.
You can probably watch on YouTube TV.
Not in Mexico.
Oh, it won't let you travel?
No. By the way, you and I are both upset this morning
Why is that?
because YouTube TV and ESPN and Disney are in a dispute.
Yeah. That's not good for this weekend.
So I'm literally watching the Tulane game last night. At the end of that game,
Green Wave.
waiting for SVP to come on to check in on old Sports Center. You know, it's my routine before I get ready for bed. And my TV goes error, screen goes blank.
Yeah.
I change channels. I go back to ESPN. It pops on momentarily. And then it goes blank again. So
Yeah.
literally last night after the college football game, they took their stations down, I believe. That's all I could figure out.
Well, this is what the statement on Thursday from YouTube. They said that Disney had threatened to remove its content if a new deal that would pay Disney more money could not be reached before an agreement expired at midnight on Friday. Negotiations broke down Thursday, hours before the deal expired. Streaming services have shifted their strategy from vying for subscribers to just getting viewers to spend more time on their platforms in order to maximize advertising revenue generated by popular videos. So YouTube said in a statement that Disney's terms would force it to raise its prices and that removing its content from YouTube TV would drive viewers to Disney's own streaming services, which include Disney Plus and Hulu. So for YouTube TV people, we might be in trouble here for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I have ESPN Plus.
I
Yeah.
know, but
I have Hulu.
And Disney.
But this is what I hate.
Bundle.
It's all so compartmentalized now. And I hate sitting on my couch on Thursday night and having to jump back and forth between Amazon and then if I want to go to ESPN Plus or then I want to go to YouTube TV because it takes, I have pretty fast internet at my house. It still takes, more time than hitting the recall button.
yeah.
To go find the tab and open it up and wait for it to load, and then you got to go to this channel, and then you got to say who's watching, and
But don't worry, buddy. There's saving grace here. Subscribers, they're saying in the same New York Times article, will be offered a $20 credit on YouTube TV if Disney content stays off the platform for long, YouTube said.
Yeah.
So be ready for that $20 credit, buddy.
Well,
Don't spend it all in one place.
okay. Yeah.
Seriously.
Everybody wants their piece of the pie.
That's right.
And
Disney
it's
wants theirs.
tactics. Disney's like,
But
well,
ABC is part of Disney too, so you lose ABC for the primetime college football game at 5:30 Mountain Time this week too.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well, they're doing it right
Big
on a busy
news.
college football Saturday coming up.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it really is strategic.
All right, got to take a break. When we come back, guests start rolling in. Delane Fitzgerald, first up. T-Birds, Austin P. The Govs coming to Cedar City. We'll go back to last weekend's win for the T-Birds, and we'll look ahead to tomorrow's tilt with the Govs. That's coming up next. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Happy Halloween. Hey, thanks to everybody that showed up and showed out last night. We were, everywhere yesterday. We had our normal show. Paulie, Tara, they went down and we told you congratulations, Order. We've got a new member of the fan family. Kate and his wife had their baby. So, yes. So, you raced down and did the show down there in the afternoon slot at the William Hill Sportsbook. And then I was sticking around and as soon as you guys got done, I think you even jumped in there at the end of your second hour, and I was at the back nine, and I didn't get home from the back nine till what time did we talk last night, Paulie? Like 9 o'clock,
8:30.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
8:45, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Probably one of the coolest grand openings I've ever been a part of.
Nice.
The trunk or treating with the boost. They had the biscuit bus and J Dogs, and they had some great food. The sodas and drinks and frozen custard, and I thought Nothing Bunk Cakes did an unbelievable job. They had the mystery machine. They had the mystery machine and the whole Bunt Cakes team dressed up like Scooby-Doo.
Oh, nice.
They had the golf cart all dialed in. And
those are very good.
And yeah, they were giving those out for free all night long. It was awesome. So we had just a blast at the back. And I bet we had maybe 800 to 1,000 people come by last night between 5 and 9 o'clock.
That's right.
And we were playing music, hanging out. Hawk was there. Coney was there. We were there on the Fan Sports Network. And that place is amazing. You walk in, the first thing that they've got at the back nine, if you get a membership there, you can go play indoor golf on the full swing simulators. That's what Tiger Woods uses. A nice human touch massaging chair.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And so it was about 8 o'clock last night. The crowd was starting to thin out a little bit. So nobody was sitting in the massaging chair.
So you took it.
I was done with my remote.
I need a little decompress.
And of course, right when I sit down, Big Max comes in. And Big Max always, I don't know, some people in town know who Big Max Aquin is. He's there. And he's a good buddy of mine, and he's videoing, hey, back nine. Oh, there's Devin Dixon. And I'm like lounging in the massage chair. I'm like,
hard.
I promise I'm really working, Max. I just taking a break. I'll be back to work in a minute.
There you go.
Oh, my gosh. But it was fun. But I got home last night, and that was a long day yesterday. That was a fun day. And then here we go today. Man, it's going to be a marathon today. We've got good show on tap. Then we're going right to our. I got a couple things I got to do after the show, and then boom, we've got our company Halloween party. Are you two dressing up?
I am gonna probably do the hockey jersey bit. That I normally do. The dog suit. I lost the ears. I can't find the ears.
What?
So I would just be. It would just be the torso with no ears. So I can't do it. I thought I was going to do the Dalmatian.
How do you lose the ears of a dog?
Well, you're asking. Look who you're asking about losing stuff. You're looking at me right now.
You're looking into that face and asking him how he lost something.
Did you cut them off? Did you cut the ears off with the scissors? Are they not attached to the suit?
It's like It's kind of like a hat. It kind of fits like a hat, and it's got two floppy ears that flop down.
So you lost the hat.
I lost
the whole hat,
the whole headpiece. Yep. So it's kind of a devastating turn of events for the dog suit costume.
Yeah.
So
you should have gone with mine. I tried to talk him into going as like the Chippendales.
That's right.
Like the Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze SNL. Do you remember that?
It was a good bit. I would have done it. I would have been Farley, but Tara won't participate. So
you wouldn't. You said you already had your costume.
Oh, okay.
See, here's the thing with me with Halloween. I'm either there's some
you
years
had your costume.
I'm either all in or I'm all out.
Okay.
I'm either all in and I go to the nines and I'm all in.
Yeah.
And you go big, or you don't go at all.
I think you last year at the company when you did the Scheffler, the convict
the
suit.
Inmate.
Yeah, the inmate.
Then I was Scotty Scheffler.
Had Scheffler
Oh,
on the
nice.
back. That was a good idea. Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked that. That was one of the better ones, I thought. So
Yeah. So
I'm normally just pretty lazy with the costumes, but that dog suit would be the go-to. But I think it would be a crowd favorite. But
my wife and her whole department at school, she's a teacher, they're doing the whole Mario Brothers thing.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I like
fun.
that. Wario.
So she already had she was all getting decked out as Yoshi this morning.
Yoshi. Okay.
Nice.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah. They've got the whole, and then you think about it, you can go pretty big with Mario Brothers because there's a lot of, you can go Toad and Bowser and Princess Peach and Luigi and Mario.
Waluigi, Wario. There's so many different ones.
So you really have endless, you can do 20 characters if you want.
Donkey Kong, he's in the mix.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
so many different ones. Yeah, you're right, buddy.
Yep. So Koopa Troopa, fan favorite.
That's right.
Yeah.
Boo, the ghost.
Waiting to see if we can get Coach Fitzgerald on the program. In the meantime, big college football weekend, especially for Utah Ute fans in the state of Utah. As we talked about a little bit earlier in the week, College Game Day is coming to Sac Lake City.
They are indeed. They'll be there. They are coming to your city, as they used to say. And I think it'll be a nice crowd for the game day festivities. And we'll get to see week to week. You know, I thought Big Noon did a good job, but I think game day is always better than Big Noon. So we'll get to see Big Noon in the Beehive, or the College Game Day in the Beehive State. But the Utah-Cincinnati game is not the only big one on the slate. I know it's the most local interest, of course. But in the Big 12, there's some massive games with Texas Tech, Kansas State. I think that's an interesting one for conference supremacy. And then, of course, the Utah-Cincinnati one at night. But those two games, I think, are going to figure into the Big 12 title race because we were talking to Lee yesterday. He thinks wrong team favored. He likes the Kansas State Wildcats to upset Texas Tech. So that would be interesting to see if Texas Tech loses another game. And then that opens it up for Utah and BYU. We talked about this on From the Bleachers yesterday. There could be, if Texas Tech loses and Utah wins out, BYU wins out, an all Beehive Big 12 title game. How about that? We could see the Holy War in the Big. I know I'm connecting dots. I'm connecting dots.
There's got to have a loss or two. You've got to win out. There's a lot that has to happen.
Okay, just bear with me.
Why do you want to put the cart before the horse?
I'm just saying. I'm throwing out the idea into the universe. It could happen. I'm just saying.
Geez, at least
I'm trying to manifest.
At least you almost waited till November.
Okay.
I mean, there's still a lot of games left to be played.
All right, so let me just go through the Texas Tech schedule. I mean, they got to play Kansas State this week, which they're a 7-point favorite.
Are you panicking because they're down a couple quarterbacks?
Yes. Yes. Third-string quarterback's not good for any team. And the Hammond kid proved he's good, but in the Utah game when he had to come in for Morton. But the third-string kid, you're really going to think that team is going to win?
I don't know. I just saw Utah freshman Burt Ficklin play really good in a big moment in his football career.
The next two, Kansas State is just getting hot with Avery Johnson. They just smashed Kansas on the road last week. And then BYU the next week. The next 2 weeks are going to define Texas Tech's season, I think. So if Texas Tech loses even one of those games, that opens the door for Utah to slide back into the Big 12 title race. So whether it's Ficklin or Dampier this week, Utah's a 10.5-point favorite. And their remaining schedule for the Utes is pretty soft as well, as they've got Baylor, Kansas State, and Kansas to end the season. And the Kansas State game's at home. The Baylor game's on the road. I understand Baylor's a 4-4 team. They're kind of middling in the Big 12 this year. Kansas 4-4. So the only threat is this week against Cincinnati, I think, for the running the table.
And the line just keeps going up.
It's going up, yeah.
I mean, it was opened at 9. It's all the way up to 11.5.
Which leads me to believe that Dampier is probably going to go. Would lead me to believe if it's moving that much.
It was an little bum ankle. You know, the extra week off, can do wonders for an ankle if it's not too severe. But look, Utah dominated Colorado with Burt Ficklin, and I was very impressed. But there was a story on the Des News yesterday that talked about, and Dampier did warm up last week, and he was available for the game. They just decided not to play him and let him rest and went with Bird and used him as an emergency quarterback. So yes, it would seem if he was available, Dampier would start in a big one against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But Ficklin might have a role in this game. He'd taken 65 snaps already and done some nice things in the run game. He's been a package
player, yeah. He's been a package guy that comes in and runs the football, but he showed he can throw last week.
But you could tell when he came out with that hot start, when he got onto the field for one night, he was in full control of the huddle, his team, and he was ready for that moment. The moment was not too big for Ficklin, the freshman.
It wasn't. I think the future's super bright in the quarterback room for the Utes, and This is just a massive week. The Cincinnati, they're undefeated in the conference. They're 5-0 in the Big 12. So this would be a big statement win. And Sorsby, the quarterback for Cincinnati, he's mobile. He's got a little. He's real agile in the open field. Loves to run. So I think this Utah defense is gonna have to spy, kind of keep an eye on him. But I think the Utes probably run away with this one. The 10.5, 11-point number. Pretty concerning for an undefeated Cincinnati team. And going into Rice-Eccles Stadium, always a tough task. Game day environment. I think Utah is going to have a good week of football this week and win big.
Why are you discounting the Bearcats? You don't believe in them?
I've seen them play a few times.
Is it
this
their
year.
defense?
They beat Iowa State. That was a good win. They beat. I think they lost to Nebraska in that first week of the season. But other than that, those are the two games I've seen them. They impressed me against Iowa State. That was a shootout, like 38-31 style game. So they can score and they can really get up and down the field, but I think they'll be moving between the 20s in this game against Utah. I think the red zone going to be tough to convert against Utah at home. So I like the Utes in this one going away. I think the spread is kind of indicative of how this game will go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Cincinnati's feisty though.
They're 17th in the country. They're the higher ranked team. They're 7-1. They've won a bunch in a row.
Yeah.
And you know, why do you take the Bearcats and the points on the road? Well, Cincinnati just has been keeping on winning. They've been climbing up at the top of the Big 12 race, and they've only been in the conference 3 years. They're real similar to a lot of teams with the Big 12.
But it's deceiving. Their conference slate has gone like this. A 37-34 win over Kansas. Okay. 38-30 win over Iowa State. Good win.
Yeah.
20-11 win over UCF. They stink. Oklahoma State, 49-17 win. They stink. Baylor, 41-20 win. They're 4-4. So, like, who has Cincinnati played in the conference? I know they're 5-0. I know they're at the tops, but
no. Look, Utah's 6-2, and their defense is good.
Yeah, this is the best team Cincinnati's played this year in Utah. Nebraska, a fine team, but I think Utah is better.
Yeah, but the most dominant performances for Utah came against Cal Poly and Colorado. Colorado's 3-4 too, so I can use that similar argument with Utah in the big games.
They've been battle tested.
But in the big
even
games,
though they haven't
Utah
won, they've been
lost.
battle tested. I
big
understand
games,
they've
good.
lost.
The best two teams they played, Texas Tech and BYU, they lost.
I understand that.
So you're saying Cincinnati hasn't played anybody, but Utah hasn't beaten anybody good either.
They have played people though. They may not have beaten them, but they've played them. So Cincinnati hasn't even been tested really, other than Iowa State.
The line opened at 7 and went to 9, and now it's to 10.5.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I think
that's a weird jump. It's jumping around.
Yeah.
So,
but when you look at the conference standings, I mean, it's really not too long of odds to try and connect the dots. Utah's at 3-2, Houston, Texas Tech at 4-1, and Cincinnati and BYU at undefeated records right now in conference. Cincinnati, if they lose to Utah, they'll have the tiebreaker over them, and they'll fall one loss back. So it's really interesting to see if Cincinnati's going to be able to hold off this entire season, because down the stretch, Cincinnati's not going to have as easy of a schedule. They're going to play Utah, they're going to play Arizona, they're going to play BYU, and they're going to play TCU. That's probably the hardest stretch to end the season conference-wise for a team in the Big 12. So I see them losing to BYU. I see them losing to Utah. They might even lose to TCU. So I think Cincinnati will play themselves out of the running in the Big 12. That leaves BYU, Texas Tech, Houston, and Utah. Houston, when you look at them a little closer, they've got games against TCU and Baylor to end the season, 2 in-state rivalry type games. I think they're going to lose one of those. So that would give them 2 losses. And then it would put the Utes, if they went out, with 2 losses as well. So I don't think it's that far of a bridge to cross to think that there might be a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance that Utah could play BYU in the Big 12 title game. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Evan Pryor, their running back, still out with injury, though. But Tawee Walker, their quarterback, Brendan Sorsby, they combined for over 900 yards rushing, 11 scores.
They like to run.
Walker breaks 1 in every 5 carries, and Sorby's a dual threat, just like Dampier is, or Bert Ficklin for that matter. They're very efficient. They don't run a lot of snaps on offense, but they're very efficient. Where I get scared for the Bearcats is their defense. I don't know that they can stop Utah's offense at home if Utah's offense keeps going right, humming along like it did against Colorado. But I think Cincinnati's defense is better than Colorado's defense.
It is. Definitely is.
So, all right, we're off and running. We've got lots of college games in state. BYU's on a bye, but Utah Tech is at home to take on North Alabama. Coach Anderson will join us 8:20 second hour. SUU is home to take on a big-time matchup in the UAC against Austin P, the Govs, and Coach Fitzgerald is going to join us next. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, Coach Delane Fitzgerald going to hop on the show, and we'll break that game down a little bit more in detail. Also go back to last Saturday's T-Bird win in the battle for the Axe as they retain the Axe over Utah Tech. All that and more when we return on The Drive on a Halloween Trick-or-Treat Friday. Stick around. Hey, everybody, welcome back. It is a Trick or Treat Halloween Friday. It's a football Friday for us. The guests start rolling in now on the Fan Sports Network. Now joining us on the live stream on youtube.com/The Drive and on the radio. Head coach of the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah University, Delane Fitzgerald. Happy Halloween, Coach. How we doing? You're dressed up like a football coach, I see.
Devin, good morning. Thank you.
Yeah, are you a big trick-or-treat guy? I'm curious, because I'm either all in or all out. As you can see, I'm all out today. I'm just wearing normal golf attire.
I was never a Halloween guy, but once you have kids, you don't have much of a choice.
Right?
True. Yeah, everybody in the family, I feel like the Grinch, because everybody in my family is dressed up this morning when they left the house, except for me. And I was like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time today. Coach, congrats on the win last Saturday. Dominant performance. I thought, really in all three phases, you guys handled your business at Greater Zion Stadium. What was the message to the team after you retained the axe?
Just proud of the way the young men played, proud of the way they handled themselves. Devin, we won all three phases of the football game, so we were the better team on offense. We were better on defense. We were better in the kicking game, and just reiterated to our guys how proud we were the way they handled themselves during the week and then all night Saturday night. Devin, there hadn't been many times, 2 straight games, we've won all three phases. So we've won 6 straight phases over the last 2 weeks, and not many times in our 4 years has that happened.
Josh Dye's a dude. How do you keep him in Cedar City, Coach? I hate to ask that question, but this guy is unreal right now. Like, people have to be noticing what he's doing. 3rd in the country in the FCS in rushing, but just seeing him live, he's faster than I thought. I think he's faster live than I see him when I watch you guys on ESPN Plus, Coach.
Yeah, Josh's speed doesn't surprise me because I get to see it all the time. His durability and how strong he is for that 180-pound frame. And he may be 177, 178 now. Just very, very powerful for his body type and his body size. And that shocks me sometimes. But we're happy to have Josh, and we're going to do everything we can do to keep him in Cedar.
Yeah.
And Devin, what a sad time in college athletics that you and I are sitting here talking about what we have to do to keep a young man. That there used to be a time and a place where if you recruited well and you evaluated well, they stayed around and you built something special.
I know. I hate it. I know. And now it's just all about the almighty dollar. And I don't know how he didn't get more rushing attempts at UTEP. What's the backstory there on how you got him to Southern Utah, Coach? Because I don't know that recruiting story.
Just a complete poor evaluation by the UTEP staff. But let's do this. We'll back up. Josh has an identical twin, Josiah. Josiah plays DB for us, safety. Josiah was a 3.5-star recruit out of high school, and that's who everybody wanted. Everybody wanted Josiah. And then Josiah said he wasn't going to sign and he wasn't going to go play anywhere without his twin brother. UTEP was the only FBS team that offered both of them. So they both went to UTEP. And when the coaching staff changed at UTEP, the new coaching staff didn't like the young men, didn't think they were good players, didn't think they were accountable enough. So they went into the portal. We had offered both young men out of Williamsfield in high school. So we had a relationship with the family and with the young men. When they went back into the portal, we were all in.
Yeah.
And we're able to get mom and dad and their high school coach and them all on a conference call and just hit it off really, really well when we laid out to mom and dad and to the twins exactly what we expected of them and how things were going to be run and what we could do for them as young men. And that's how we ended up getting them here. And we're fortunate.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, let's keep him around in Cedar City because I was very impressed. And I mean, the 92er aside, the way he runs, the way he wiggles through holes, I'm very impressed with his ability. And man, Targi Lamson had such a great year last year, and Josh has quickly made you kind of feel like this is a running football program that you've built, Coach, because you just plug and play, and Dye's putting up similar numbers to, if not better, than what Targi did last year. It's amazing.
It is. We run the football, Devin, and we run it really well. One of the better offensive line coaches, one of the better tight end coaches in the country. And then our offensive coordinator, Will Brunson, he has a commitment to the run game, and we're committed to running the football. And that's what we are. We're a running football team. And you can't leave out our running backs coach does a great job of coaching those young men, and their vision and their ability to see holes and then hit holes and make the right reads is pretty special. And our wide receivers, Devin, blocked downfield. We had two wide receivers on the 92-yard run. We had two wide receivers make great blocks.
Coach, wanted to go back to last Saturday still here and talk about the defense. You muzzled the Trailblazers offense. They didn't even score points till the fourth quarter. This was a game where your defense was flying around. They were causing pressure on the quarterback, and Utah Tech's offensive line was touted as only allowing 6 sacks through the games this season. You guys put pressure on the quarterback with regularity. Talk about your defense and how well they played.
Yeah, we've made some changes in our defensive scheme and our coaching responsibilities, and we've played a lot better the last 2 weeks, and we plan to continue to play better. Guys, I was a little taken back with how flat the Trailblazers were. That you're at home, you're in a rivalry game, it's homecoming, and you come out and lay an egg. It surprised me that those young men didn't have more oomph than they had on Saturday night. But our defensive scheme, guys, was really good. Our kids played extremely hard, and we overmatched them at times on offense and defense.
Yeah, no question about it. And now you look at the remaining schedule, Coach, and before the season, I was bullish on the T-Birds. I said, and I got a bet with Paul here. And by the way, I owe you a round of golf, Coach, because the game was not a sellout.
Not quite a sellout,
Wait
Coach.
a minute,
You
though, Coach.
it.
Did I just hear you call it a rivalry, though?
Hey, what is it, a Freudian slip?
There you go.
Anyway, Coach, I look at the remaining schedule, and this looks like, the one. Like, if you get the Govs and you beat them at home, I think you guys get to 7 wins, and I can still, I think I can still get you guys into the playoffs, and I can win my bet with Paul. And he's talking about, going to Lone Star Steakhouse, and I'm saying, fine, we're going to Ruth's Chris then. So, I mean, the Annies keep getting up here.
Yeah, that's right.
But, Coach, talk about the Govs. This is a big test. They're a good football team. You know that they're coming in. They're going to be hungry.
Yeah, top 25 team in the country, playing really well. Jeff Ferris and them had an issue with the young men being undisciplined. They were undisciplined last fall, and it really hurt them. And at times they didn't play hard. I don't see any lack of discipline this year. They're playing extremely hard. And guys, if the conference voting for Player of the Year happens tonight, their quarterback's going to be the conference player of the year. Good player, transferred in from Mississippi State, where he played games. So he had playing time in the SEC and at Mississippi State, and he's transferred in, and he's not a very big guy. Here, I'll give you this one. Y'all, the left-handed quarterback for Utah Tech, what's his name? Reggie Graff.
Yeah.
They've got a rich man's Reggie Graff playing quarterback, and just runs around, makes plays with his legs, makes plays with his arms, does a nice job. We've got to contain him to have any shot at winning on Saturday night. I'll give it to you straight. We have to contain the quarterback and do a nice job against him. We have to go forward on offense. We can't have loss of yardage plays, false starts, sacks, loss of yardage run plays. They kill an offense, and they kill our offense. And then the third thing is, if we win the turnover battle on Saturday night, we'll be successful.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys have been opportunistic in that. 2 games in a row, the defense has won the turnover battle. That Abilene Christian game, especially, four takeaways in that game. Big time performance there. You had another interception on the first play from scrimmage at Greater Zion Stadium on Saturday, which was a big momentum swinging play after you already got points on that opening drive and the 2-point conversion. Coach, I like that. I like that going for 2. Was that scripted that way all week in practice about going for 2 on the first score?
Sometimes you just have to put little brother in their place.
I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. All right, Coach. Go get him. Good luck. Bronson Barron looks like he's getting healthy again. I know he missed the 1 game. You didn't need him to do too much in last week's game. Maybe needed to turn him loose a little bit more and keep mixing in that pass a little bit. And then, that 2 quarterback system, you guys have made that work at times. How's that going internally up there?
Internally, it's really, really good because both young men are really, really good people. Bronson's footwork's getting better. So we're working with him on his footwork, and we plan to throw the ball a little more on Saturday night than we have the last 2 weeks.
And Coach, Austin B, you talked about the quarterback Parson and the offense in general averaging 35.9 points per game. If the T-Bird defense holds them under their season average, what will they do to do that, Coach?
Yeah, keep him in the pocket. Real easy. If he's better outside the pocket than he is inside the pocket, he's about 5'10" and some change, and his wheels are really good. So when he gets to running, he causes some problems. He can extend a drive by running for a first down, but he'll break containment and get out of the pocket, and he'll throw the football deep downfield on you also.
Coach, good stuff. Hey, thanks for carving out some time for us. 2 weeks in a row. We love having you on the program. You always give it to us straight, and go get them. And good luck against the Govs up there at Eccles Coliseum on Saturday, tomorrow afternoon.
Guys, I appreciate y'all. Best of luck. Everybody have a great weekend.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Delane Fitzgerald right there live on the drive. And hey, it's one of those things where I'm thinking, Paulie, it's very likely that
this is the big one.
Yeah, I mean,
this is the big one.
Look, they're not even 500 yet, and I'm sitting here talking about them
7 wins,
getting to 7 wins, and maybe getting in the playoffs. But
that's right.
But the win against Abilene Christian and then the win last week against Utah Tech, they've turned the season around. Now this is the 22 ranked Austin Peay Govs coming in. By the way, I said afternoon. It's actually an early evening kickoff. It's a 6:30 Mountain kickoff in Cedar City. So it is a 6:30 kickoff time. Did want to straighten that out. But Paulie, I'm telling you right now, they're trending in the right direction up there. T-Birds look really strong.
And then after Austin Peay, who's nationally ranked, like Coach alluded to, they're 3-5 Eastern Kentucky, 3-5 Central Arkansas, and 2-6 North Alabama, the remaining slate.
Correct.
So very feasible if they win this one that they could get to 7.
Correct. So coming off the big win, 28-7, T-Birds over Utah Tech. Now they get another big matchup at home in Cedar City. Meanwhile, Utah Tech is also at home this weekend.
Yeah.
They are an afternoon game. They are a 2 o'clock kickoff. We'll have the pregame show starting at 1 o'clock. Coach Anderson's actually going to join us on the program coming up in about 25 minutes from right now. And we'll hear from Coach Anderson and what they're going to do to try to turn the season around and get their first conference win. In the meantime, and when we come back from a break, the guests just keep rolling in. We're going to go out to the Tigers Den and talk to high school football coach Jerry Cowan in his second season for Hurricane. Got a great seed in the playoffs. They got a bye last week. They're hosting a home game against Highland. We're going to check the vibe for the Hurricane Tigers out. That'll be our Boulevard home game of the week tonight at 4 p.m. So that'll be coming up when we come back, when the drive continues from the Finley Hyundai Studios. This might be the greatest Halloween song of all time.
It is, yeah.
Right behind Thriller.
That's right. We were going through the Apple Halloween Essentials, and this had to make the list.
Yeah, this is last year at the Finley Auto Trunk or Treat. I turned this on and just was rocking it.
There you go.
The whole trunk or treat. I should have probably done that last night, but we had a triple remote over there at the Back Nine grand opening, which was awesome, by the way. You probably, hopefully you were one of the 1,000 people that came by last night and checked out the new second Back Nine location. That was a lot of fun. But we will be briefly making an appearance at the Finley Auto Trunk or Treat today. It starts at 2 o'clock, goes till 4 o'clock. But I'll be there, for about 1 to I don't know, 2:30, and then I got to head out to Hurricane to the Tigers Den. And now joining us on the program, head coach, playoff start today for the Hurricane Tigers. Jerry Cowan drops by the show as they get ready to take on the Highland Rams. And, Coach, good morning. How we feeling on a trick-or-treat game day, buddy?
Well, we're feeling great. We're excited.
You like playing football on Halloween? Is that a good thing? Can you spin that as a positive for you and your kids and your family and your program, or would you wish Halloween would be another day?
I didn't even know that was actually Halloween today.
Okay.
Well, for some reason, that does not surprise me,
That's
Coach.
good. He's locked in.
He's locked in
Yeah.
to the Highland Rams. We went up there, Coach, and we did that Highland Rams-Dixie game. And I know Dixie played poorly, and they ended up playing a lot of freshmen and just kind of bridge gapping for the future. But Highland's got some athletes. Number 6, their receiver's really good. Ripley, their freshman running back's really good. They got 2 quarterbacks that can both do different things. What is your assessment of the team you're playing tonight and the Highland Rams so far?
Well, just exactly what you said. I mean, they've had some success, in the region and playing young guys. They've got some seniors also too, but they're playing a lot of young guys, and for us, we know those kids. They're designed to make plays in space. I mean, they're not big power runners. They're all athletic. Give them room, they're going to make moves, and so for us, we just got to try to not make it easy on them. As far as keeping them bogged up and making it tough to get moving and. And obviously physicality is a big deal. That'll slow guys down too. So, we know these guys are a threat. Desert News picked them to beat us, and so that's obviously another motivator for us. And it's kind of been like that all year. Getting picked last in region and predicted to get picked last. And so for us, it's we've had that chip on our shoulder. We're going to continue to do that.
Coach, I don't normally pick games that I'm calling, but because Des News picked against you, I am saying you guys win 42-14 today, just for the record. Take that for what it's worth. I heard Salvino got nicked up. How's he doing? Is he out or is he going to be available? What's going on with your linebacker Salvino?
Yeah, he had surgery last week. He's out for the year, so. For us, he was a great senior leader for us, middle linebacker. But if we had to pick a position where we had depth and, we next man up, it was probably that position. So we've got some other good kids there that we know can come in and try to take the same role that he had and do it, hopefully somewhat of the same type of job that he did. So sad for him, but at the same time, we're pretty healthy. That's the only kid that we've actually relying on that's injured.
Yeah, you get to this point in the season, and some teams have 2-3 guys they've lost for the season. But you're right, you just hate it for a senior. Does he play other sports? Is he going to be able to play? Is that surgery going to allow him to play a winter sport or a spring sport, or is that a long recovery, or what's that outlook like for that young man, Coach? Do you know?
Yeah, it's in 6 months. He doesn't play another sport, so he'll just. I'm sure he'll just be in the weight room and trying to get his upper body looking as good as he can with those, skinny legs. And so, he's a kid that I coached since Little League. He was in Duchesne with me, and so, they family moved down here when we came, and just a great kid, just a kid that I have a lot of, strong feelings about. And so, but, at the same time, it gives other kids opportunities. So that's the way it goes.
You know, my senior year, we lost my other running back. There was, we were in a two-back system, and we lost him in the actually the first round of the playoffs to a broken leg, got lead whipped, broke his leg, he was out for the season. We used that as a rallying cry. Everybody was playing their guts off for, fallen soldiers, so to speak, and we ended up winning the state championship. So sometimes, an injury can motivate some of the other guys on your team to step up and where he can't play, fill in his shoes. So does that mean that you leave Jackson Weiniger at the linebacker, and then you put your son at the safety position? Is that kind of the adjustment defensively for tonight?
Those two have been in the starting lineup at those positions for the last, 5-6 weeks. So we just bring another kid, Bentley Fisher. Bentley's he's a junior. Best way to describe him, he's rugged. I mean, he is just flat out rugged. And so we don't miss a beat. Salvino's been at practice since he's had surgery. He's out there coaching the kids. That's what I told him. I said, you're going to be a coach now. And so he's been out there coaching. So, we don't miss a lot. Like I said, we have a program right now that we feel like we got too deep at every position, and we're not scraping by like we were last year. And this year it's more of a lot more depth.
Coach, this team has 15 interceptions on the season in their quarterback room. You've got two guys, your son, of course, Cowan, and Titan, of course, with the 4 interceptions, and Jackson with 2. You got some ball hawks back there. Are you preaching to your guys to make plays on the ball against a team that is prone to giving it up through the air sometimes?
Well, the 2 sophomores you just talked about really didn't even start till about middle of the year. And so they've done all that in, 4 or 5 games. And the defense we run, we show different looks. We try to make it, for the quarterback, try to make it as tough as we can, as far as what we're doing. But really, we just have good kids. We have kids that have skill. I mean, they're competitive, they're smart, and we're talking in the secondary, and so, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, like I said, turnovers are obviously a big emphasis for us, and getting the picks are nice. Getting the fumbles, sometimes even better. So hopefully we can continue that as we go through these playoffs.
Coach, I think an all-region kid that maybe is flying under the radar a little bit that I think people need to give more clout and more exposure to, and he's just popped every time I've seen you guys, whether it's live or on tape, is big number 52, Tanner Matua. 52 tackles, 5 sacks, bunch of TFLs. Like, I feel like he's kind of like the motor on that front 7 for you guys defensively. Like, how vital is his success to your team's success? Because I feel like he gives you 110% every single play.
I can't really describe how important he is to us. I mean, he's our best defensive player. He's our, starting offensive tackle. Really a leader of our team. He's a captain. He's a junior. He's a playmaker, and he's a coach on the field. He's the guy that comes over to me and tells me what play to run, or tells us what plays are going to work, and then I communicate that to our offensive coordinator. And defensively, he's always, telling us what we need to do. I mean, he's just a coach. When you find a kid like that that's athletic, aggressive, tough, and he's also smart, then they can be special, and he's one of those kids.
Coach, you've probably seen number 36 on the film. That's Vili Ripley, the freshman for the Highland Rams. He's kind of their Swiss Army do-it-all guy. He's got 600 yards rushing and over 150 receiving. What kind of are you going to do to contain the outside stretch run, which we were doing the Dixie game last week against Highland, and the outside stretch that they ran that play, I feel like 10, 12 times with great success and with Ripley running it. So have you seen that play on film, and is that a play that you guys are trying to emphasize this week?
Yeah, that was kind of our big yesterday in practice. We had a scout team run that play on us, and they kind of caught us off the edge there for a decent gain. And so, we stopped the team and we talked about it. And, the thing about that play is that it's going lateral. So as long as we can keep him going lateral, he'll end up on the sideline and it's going to be a no gain. But if we let him square his shoulders up once he gets outside, it can be a big play. So for us, we have good team speed. And, I think anything going sideways is going to be to our advantage. And if that's the play they want to do, then, if it's something that we need to adjust as we go through the game, we will. But it's definitely been emphasized.
Coach Jerry Cowan, Hurricane Tigers head coach, with us here. This is going to be a fun stretch run here for your seniors, Coach. I mean, kind of the end of the world as they know it. This is the second part of the third part of the season, really. You get the non-conference, and you get your region games, and then you got the postseason. Just give me kind of a glimpse inside the Hurricane program, pull back the curtains, and tell me what this week of preparation has been like for some of your senior leaders, like Weingar, like Dylan Gabriel, like Brody Jacobs, like Clyde, like CJ Trump, some of these guys that are instrumental players for you.
Yeah, we started senior speeches last night, and we try to give each kid an opportunity to talk, and it's real emotional. Some kids open up and tell you about their life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and so it's that time of year where all the freshmen are gone and some of the JV guys are gone, and we can just focus on the varsity guys. And our senior group has really been the biggest instrument for us to kind of turn things around in this program and have the opportunity to, last year we had an opportunity to win a playoff game. This year we have a bye, and then we have a couple home playoff games, if potentially. And so just the fact that those seniors have bought in and they had to really change a lot of things with a new coach and with new expectations, and they could have really went the other route. And they didn't. They chose the hard, and they, like I said, I feel like our program right now is where it is because of those seniors. And, the younger groups right now, our JV team, didn't lose a game this year. Our freshman team, got some work to do, but we have a lot of good things going with the program. That starts with that senior group because that's the group that I was looking up to. And, and I guess the sky's the limit. We've still got a lot of opportunity to make some noise here, and but at the same time, it's you lose a game right now, you're done. So we know it's do or die, and we're not going to take a team lightly at this point because we're not good enough to take a team lightly. And our kids know that, and they know we haven't earned it, to be able to do that. So it's Super Bowl every game this next few games for us.
And Coach, I want to rewind back to Media Day. Speaking of the Super Bowl, you said last year's home playoff game, if I remember correctly, at Media Day, you said it was like the Super Bowl for the team. It was your first home playoff game in some time. But now let's fast forward to this year, year two, second year of program building that you've done. How are the kids' viewpoints on this playoff game? Is it just another game, or is it, again, like a Super Bowl type environment for the kids?
Well, it's a home playoff game, and it's round two. Last year we were just tickled to death to get by round one, and then, unfortunately last year when round two was down in up in Ridgeline, which was a place that no one wanted to go to. And so this year's a different, this year we have a bye round one, and we have a playoff game, potentially the next two rounds. So, the mentality is the same all year. We've played with a chip on our shoulder. We felt like we have a lot to prove. We've done that. We've lost 3 games, but if you look at the point total, and if you've been around the program, those 3 games by I think 9 or 10 points, and 3 or 4 plays away from being 9-0 right now. And so, we put ourselves in a good spot, but at the same time, this is a different season, and we know that we've got to continue to do it. We can't let up. We can't, be content with where we're at, and I don't think our kids are going to do that.
Good stuff, Coach. Can't wait. I'll be over there tonight. I'll see you around 3 o'clock. Come say hello, and hopefully we're talking to you about a Tiger win, moving on in the 4A playoffs in the postgame show. Coach, thanks for carving out some time for us, and happy Halloween game day, buddy. We'll see you tonight.
Hey. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your Halloween.
Thanks, Coach.
Jerry Cowan, head coach of the Tigers. It sounds like the bell's ringing. He's got to get off to class.
He's got to get to class.
That's right. Yeah. Or weights. He's got to get to weights.
That's right.
He's got to get his morning workout in to get ready to go.
He is the best strength and conditioning teacher, I bet. Do they have strength and conditioning or like weightlifting in high school out here?
Yeah.
He is the best teacher to learn from, I think, just by looking at Coach Cowan.
Yeah.
He's sculpted.
Man. And look, my favorite thing I didn't even realize it was Halloween.
Yeah, he's
so locked in on football. That's spoken like a true football coach, right? I don't even know what day it is. It's just it's football time.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so here are the 4A matchups today: Crimson and Timpanogos. Paulie, guess the Perry Power Guide real quickly. Let's go through these quickly. Crimson hosting Timpanogos. Of course, Crimson the overall number 2 seed in the 4A bracket.
Crimson by 42.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. 38.7.
Okay.
38.7. All right. Hurricane Highland.
Hurricane Highland. I'm going to go Hurricane by 4.
Hurricane by 10.
10.
Hurricane by 9.9.
9.9.
But I think what Jerry Cowan was referring to, the Des News picked Highland. Edwards Edge, he picked Highland to beat Hurricane.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
I disagree with James Edwards on that one.
Yeah.
Pineview Skyline.
Ooh,
tonight.
yeah. This will be Pineview by 7.
3.7.
3.7. Okay.
Yeah, Pineview is favored by
3.7. No buzzer. That was close.
That's the 6-11 matchup. That's the 6. You got buzzed.
buzzed.
You were within. I mean, if we
Very
round
buzzer.
up, you were within a field goal. If we round up,
come on, give me that field goal. All right. What's the last one?
Snow Canyon and Green
Yes,
Canyon.
the one I'll be on. I think this
Clash in the Canyons.
I think the Clash of the Canyons is big on Snow Canyon side. I'm going to go 13.
Nope.
Wow.
1.2. Snow Canyon is favored only by 1.2. Tara's buzzing the crap out of you.
She does not like my answers. They weren't too close this week.
I mean, we'll give you Crimson. You were within really 3, and we'll give you Pineview Skyline.
So the spot.
You went 2 for 4.
I did the Friday night spotlight, and I predict the scores in every game. So let's go through my actual scores.
Thank you, please.
I got 30. I got 34-13 Tigers.
Okay.
Winning big against the Highland Rams.
And what did I say? I normally
you
never
said 41
pick games, but I got so irritated that Des News picked against Hurricane. I think I said 42-14.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I did the Green Canyon Snow Canyon game. I said 28-7 Warriors.
Yeah, I don't think Green Canyon's offense is very good. That defense is really good. I would say 21-10 Warriors maybe would be a guess
Their
for me.
Their defense great all year, the Warriors, and playing at home. Haven't had a lot of home games.
Yep.
And then the Pineview game over Skyline, I took them by 7, 34-28,
Yep.
or 34-27. I'm sorry.
I think that look, that could be a close game tonight.
That's right.
That could be. If Pineview gets
Crimson.
back on track offensively and the defense gets up for this game at home, Pineview should win by more than 7.
Yeah, Pineview, I think, wins by 7, and then 34-27, and then I am going to go Crimson big over Timpanogos.
Yeah. I did the Timpanogos Pineview game.
56-14. So.
I just remember me and Coach Barry did that Timpanogos Pineview game, so I've seen Timpanogos once. They got all their studs on offense, but their defense is not very good. All right, got to take a break. When we come back, Coach Lance Anderson, Utah Tech, going to join us, getting ready for tomorrow's home game, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at Greater Zion Stadium. They're playing North Alabama. The guests just keep rolling in. Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. It is a Halloween edition of The Drive. Show today brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course, St. George Tent Shop, our friends at Kabuto Sushi and Ramen, Color Country Custom Coatings, as well as TDS, Game Day Men's Health, and Prime IV. And as always, coming out of the Findlay Hyundai Studios. Now joining us on the program, head coach of the Utah Tech Trailblazers, Coach Lance Anderson. Good morning, Coach. How we doing on a football Friday?
Good morning. Doing great today.
Doing good. Big one tomorrow, 2 o'clock. How has the week of practice been trying to kind of recover from losing the rivalry game against the T-Birds, Coach? It looked like when I was at practice on Wednesday, it looked like business as usual for you guys.
Yeah, the guys have responded well. We've had some good practices this week. We're a little banged up like most teams this time of year, but I think the guys really worked hard this week. The loss Saturday to Southern Utah was very disappointing, and I think a lot of the guys took that hard. We were hoping to be at least more competitive and more in that game in the fourth quarter, and hopefully have a chance to win it. But the guys have responded well this week, and hopefully we can come out and play well on Saturday afternoon.
Coach, do you take a loss against a team 45 minutes away harder than you do any other loss, or is a loss at the end of the day, no matter who you're playing?
Really in the end, and I think especially after you initially get over a little bit, a loss is a loss. But I think initially, one like that might hurt a little bit more, immediately afterwards, because there was, a lot of buildup where it's homecoming. This is our rival game. We'd lost to them in double overtime last year, and then you lose that game. I think it hits pretty hard and it hurts quite a bit at first, but then, hey, you get over it. You realize, hey, this is like another game where we can learn from the mistakes we made. We can try to build on the positive things, and just move on to that next opponent.
Any significant changes or wrinkles or anything you guys are doing differently this week, getting ready for North Alabama compared to last week? Like, are you getting any guys back from injury? Are you inserting anybody new into the starting lineup? That's kind of the thing I was looking for with the question, Coach.
Really not getting anyone back. We probably have you'll see we probably have a few more guys out this week. So unfortunately that's just kind of where we are there. But it's able to get a few other guys ready and get them going and get them ready to play. And just with the limited time, especially with our APR penalties and losing time each week, it's hard to really do a whole lot different. We've kind of got our routine that we think fits best with the amount of preparation time and practice time that we've got. So we've tried to make the best of that and get out and just practice hard every day, make good use of our meeting time, and hopefully we're well prepared for North Alabama.
And, Coach, obviously you guys have played some really good mobile quarterbacks this season, but Destin Wade for the Lions looks to be another one in that long line of mobile quarterbacks that have been good this season. Talk about what you've seen on film from him and the Lions offense as you're breaking them down this week, Coach.
So starting with Destin Wade, he really is a very good athlete. He runs really well. I believe he's their second leading rusher. And in addition to just being, very athletic, being able to make plays with his feet as well as throwing the ball, he's a big kid. I think they list him at like 230 pounds. So he's a load to tackle as well. So, yeah, just like the athletic mobile quarterbacks that we've faced, he definitely fits, in that mold and will be a handful for us. Offensively, they are very creative. You're going to see all kinds of different formations, lots of different motions, shifts, just trying to get numbers advantages, just trying to put you in conflict in terms of your eye discipline, where you need to be. So this week is big in terms of just doing the fundamental things on defense of, we've got to be able to read our keys, stay disciplined, fit where we need to fit. And then when we have a chance to tackle, we've got to be able to bring our feet, tackle. We got to get multiple guys there because they've got some guys who, in addition to Destin Wade, the running back, Allen, receiver number 0. They've got some talented guys with the ball in their hands.
Coach, one thing that's kind of been glaring for me is the lack of offensive explosive plays and then the lack of turnovers the last, 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, you guys have 5 interceptions and 3 fumble recoveries in the entire season. I know turnovers can all happen at once and they're hit or miss, but is there an emphasis on, punching the ball out, or how can you create more turnovers? Because I know Coach Moynihan and the defense, they want to have at least 2 turnovers a game. That's a goal week in, week out.
Exactly, and we had done a decent job of that. We had 2 takeaways against Tarleton. We had 2 against Central Arkansas. Unfortunately, we didn't get any against Southern Utah. They did get 1, and so that's often the difference in the game. Each week in practice, we do like a turnover or takeaway rotation where we're working on ball disruption, punching the ball out, things like that. Working on even with the big guys, catching the ball or tipping the ball, so we work drills. We try to make an emphasis of that in practice. That's one of the things that the defensive staff grades every day is, how many turnovers, how many strip attempts, things like that. So we've been a little up and down with that. The games we've played well, or that we've had a chance we've had some takeaways. So we got to continue to do that. And Devin, like you said, on offense, we are severely lacking in those explosive plays, and it's something we need. We just need more of, whether it's in the run game, it's the pass game. You look back at Southern Utah, and I believe we had like 5 drives of 11 plays or more, and at the end of the day, we have 7 points. So what that shows is at times we've been able to control the ball with maybe the run game, with some of the short passing game, getting that out to the running backs on the perimeter. But at some point, to be successful, you have to be able to get those chunk plays, those explosive plays, the big touchdown plays. And that's what we're lacking right now. So we are working every week to try to come up with those. And, obviously, as we build this program, we're continuing to try to get guys in here who are capable of making those explosive plays, because that's what winning teams do. They create a lot of explosive plays.
Coach Lance Anderson, head coach of Utah Tech, here with us on the drive. 2:00 kickoff against North Alabama. Anything else you see against North Alabama that you're stressing with the guys? This would be nice, Coach. This feels like almost a must-win from my perspective. I don't know how you feel about that, but you guys need a conference win. They're coming to your place. They only have 1 conference win. What are your thoughts on, when I say it's a must-win situation? They're all a must-win situation. I know that's radio speak, but this one feels important for morale and chemistry to get kind of a get-right game to me, Coach.
We would. I mean, each week we feel like it's a game we want to win, that we must win. As we try to build this program and get to where we'd like to be, you don't want just the moral victories. You don't want to just see the improvement. You don't want just some of the off-the-field improvement. You want it translated to wins and losses. And each week, that's our opportunity to go out and do that. So we certainly want that this week, especially where, they're a team that beat us pretty good last year. We definitely have some motivation to try to, bounce back and be more competitive this year against them. Speaking, more specifically to North Alabama, like I said, the offense is very creative. We got to be very disciplined there. Defensively, their strength is in their front. They've got a couple of really good defensive tackles, a really good defensive end in 57 and some other guys, where we know that for us to be successful offensively, we've got to be able to handle their front. We got to be able to move those guys and block those guys in the run game, and we've got to be able to, prevent those guys from getting to the quarterback. We got to have some protection, as we throw the ball, to give the quarterback time to, get the ball out and get the ball down the field.
Good stuff. Coach Lance Anderson always stopping by on Fridays, hanging out with us, talking football, Utah Tech. We'll have the pregame show at 1 o'clock, kickoff 2 o'clock right here on the Fan Sports Network. Paul Ratliff and Cody Wilstead will be doing the call. And, of course, Rod Zundel and Max Christensen will have the ESPN Plus call. Coach, good luck tomorrow. Go get them, and we'll talk to you again next week.
That sounds great. Thanks.
All right,
Thanks,
Coach Lance Anderson live on the drive. I do think it's a get-right game, Paul.
Yeah, I think so, too. A home game.
You don't want to be stuck on 1 win with 3 to play. This is a 2-6 team coming to your place. You need this one.
It's a prime spot to get one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and it sounds like they were even more shorthanded in the injuries than they were last week. It sounds like a couple more guys are going to be out.
That's right.
So that's not good news. to say the least.
I think he's right, and good question asking him about the explosive plays. I mean, a lot of the passing game last week was that screen out of the backfield.
Yeah, I mean it
really
worked for 6-7 yards.
Like the air yards, like how far is the ball traveling in the air? I don't think they had any pass other than the first pass of the game that was intercepted where they took a shot 20-plus yards down the field. It really just wasn't a part of the offense last week.
Yeah.
So I think that is a good question and a good thing Coach Anderson should be emphasizing in practice.
And look, when you're breaking it down, it's like that's why Bronson Barbin is getting a lot of these starts, because he does have that bigger arm, but nobody's getting open downfield. In most cases, he doesn't have a ton of time to get the ball downfield. So, there was a point in that game where Reggie came in on first and second down, ran the RPO.
Yeah.
Then they bring Barbin on third and fourth, and they throw, and Eric Olson gets stuffed at the 1, and they hold him out of the end zone.
Yeah.
And it's really predictable. And Coach knows that. And sometimes, you got to take what the defense can give you and hope that your guys can outflank or make a play or break a tackle. But yeah, I just feel like if you're going to beat North Alabama at home, you better have 2 or 3 plays over 30 yards in the game.
That's right.
At least give me over 30 yards in the game.
Yep.
All right, lots still to get to. Man, busy with the guests. We had, Lance Anderson moments ago. Earlier, Jerry Cowan, Hurricane Tiger coach. We got that Hurricane Tiger Highland game at 4 o'clock. We'll be streaming that game for you, and we'll start that game presented by the Boulevard on radio here on The Fan. Paulie and your crew, you guys are going to be over at Snow Canyon. We're going to have some comprehensive wraparound coverage. Warriors taking on the Green Canyon Wolves in the clash for the Canyons. Then we've got updates on Crimson and Pineview all night long. Again, all games today start at 4 p.m. in the high school football second round of the 4A playoffs. There's a bunch of other games going on. Also, I do want to mention we had Delane Fitzgerald on. If you missed that, Coach Fitzgerald, they got a big one against Austin Peay tomorrow at 6:30 at Eccles Coliseum. Outside of the 4 Region 9 games, you got Mountain Crest and Stansbury. You got Provo and Salem Hills. Ridgeline is playing East. That is the 1-16 seed matchup. So expect Ridgeline to win by 50. Those and Skyview and Park City. Those are the other games that don't have a Region 9 team involved in them. The thing that I'm excited about, Paulie, we got through last week and this week without any Region 9 reruns.
That's right.
So
that's good. That's
unfortunately, it took Dixie and Snow Canyon, or Dixie and Desert Hills losing to avoid that. But that you didn't want to see that if you're a local football fan.
Sure.
So enjoy the football tonight. Happy Halloween. We got to take a break. We're coming back. Lots more to get to. We're not done yet. We got about 20 minutes to still talk more sports. Got some NFL picks. We'll go back to our Survivor pool. We've got some more tricks and treats coming up on a Halloween edition of The Drive from the Finley Hyundai Studios. Welcome back, everybody. Also, we just had Lance Anderson on the show. Just got a flyer dropped off at the studio, and they're doing a plate sale and tailgate for the St. George Eagles on Saturday. So that's cool. November 1st, they play at Dixie High School. It's the same time as Utah Tech. They couldn't stagger the start time, so people could catch a doubleheader of football locally. And they'll be playing. And we do love Honolulu Grill, one of our great local partners. So we'll go over there and have some Honolulu Grill. And they're doing some fun things over there. And the St. George Eagles, that was really cool. I saw Utah Tech honoring, and we had Greg Croshaw, who's the Eagles coach, still helping out coaching the Eagles. We had him on the show last week as they gave him that legacy award at Utah Tech for the 22 plus years of coaching, winning coaching that Coach Croshaw did when they were a junior college. And Crow and I have always been good buddies since the first moment I met him. I'll never forget the first question I asked Coach Croshaw, and he's like, "Now, who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just a new guy in town working in radio and sports talk station." And he's like, "All right." And answered my question, and we've been buddies ever since. So I wanted to pass that along. That'll be Dixie High School, Honolulu Group plate sale. So you go get a plate at the tailgate, and it goes to the Eagles and helps them out, and you get to watch some football. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
that'll be Saturday as well. What are you doing for Halloween, Paul? Are you working all day?
We're working this morning. We're working tonight, and then a little party later on tonight. Yeah, so it should be fun.
Yeah, you got a party tonight?
Yeah, I got a party tonight.
Really?
Buddy. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even get invited to a party, but I got a pack tonight anyway.
Yeah, you got a pack.
I'm going to be out of town next week, and Paul and Tara are going to have the show Monday through Thursday. I'll be back a week from today. But I'm around all day today. I don't leave. I don't leave till tomorrow.
You're around. That's right.
Yep.
Always around.
Little 5-day getaway with the missus. So this is, trip we've had planned for months and months and months. So, not the greatest time to go on vacation right in the middle of the high school
you
playoffs.
Don't say.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but there's never a good time in the fall.
There
really isn't because I don't want to miss anything. Mm-hmm. So
Christmas is really the only time where everyone's kind of just.
Well, and I booked my flight on Saturday, so I would be around for high school football playoffs tonight, and I'm coming back next Thursday, I'm back at 2 a.m. so I can be back by next Friday for the show and for the quarterfinals. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking ahead. I'm only going to miss one broadcast, and that is the Utah Tech broadcast. Paul will be doing the remote. Paul and Tara will be doing the remote over at Wingnuts for Monday Night Football on Monday. What's our Monday night game? We got.
I don't have it.
Is it the Packers?
No.
It's Dallas and Arizona.
Dallas and the Cardinals and Cowboys.
Yeah.
That actually could be a pretty good game.
That might be a good game.
I think Arizona can score on Dallas's defense.
A lot of Cowboy fans in the St. George area, a lot of Cowboy fans everywhere. So I think we'll have a pretty solid crowd. And Arizona being somewhat local, too, I think we'll have a good crowd at Wingnuts. So come join us.
Yeah, no.
Pauly's Bingo.
What
it was
jersey
a hit
are we
last
giving
week.
away? Yeah.
What jersey are we giving away? I
don't have them memorized.
Yeah, that's all right.
I order them all before the season. I should keep the list on my computer handy, but I don't have that handy.
All right.
It's always a marquee player.
Marquee.
Yeah.
It'll be marquee.
It's a surprise when you come into Wingnuts and you see it hanging on the wall. What you could win.
That. It was a Daniels Battle Black last year.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was a cool one.
You were kind of jelly of the winner, weren't you?
It wouldn't have fit me. It might have fit about right over my chest and then not all the way down my torso. So I'm glad that the winner got that, not me.
We'll do some NFL talk coming up next segment, but Pauly, I'm curious. Do two big things on each of these 4 Region 9 playoff games tonight. Two big things to watch for, and we'll go rifling through. Let's start with the game you're going to be calling tonight. It's going to be you and Cody Wilstead on the call. Yeah. We had Cody do some color commentary for us last year, and then went back to coaching, but he's done for the season, and Caden had his baby, so Cody's going to be filling in for Caden tonight. We're excited to have Cody part of the broadcast, and that'll be over at SC as they take on Green Canyon. Green Canyon beat Desert Hills 10-3 last Saturday. What are two things to watch for if Snow Snow Canyon's going to get a win.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a defensive slugfest. Talked about that in the Friday night spotlight. And who better to bring into a battle than Trayvon?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be the guy tonight. 42 total tackles, 8 for loss, 6 sacks. I think he plays large. The Snow Canyon defense, I think they're going to stop the run and make this team, Green Canyon, the Wolves, a little one-dimensional. And if they do become one-dimensional, Ethan Funk, the junior quarterback for Green Canyon's a pretty good player. 14-3 is touchdown interception ratio this season. So the defensive back secondary going to have to be sharp. But I think that one big thing for the Snow Canyon Warriors is to make this a one-dimensional offense. Make them run the football until they can't, and they have to throw. So, and then you can allot more in pass coverage. But stop the run would be my first key for a big thing for the Snow Canyon Warriors.
Okay, yeah, stop the run, and then obviously it's going to be tough to score. So I think a hot start would be good.
Yeah.
Got to win the turnovers, time of possession, field position game. If they can do that, methodically slow the ball, and if they can get some big plays over the top, Desert Hills did not have the big play ability that Snow Canyon has. Olson's got a big arm. He's a dual threat. He's got a big target in Washington. This is a really explosive Snow Canyon offense as it's kind of developed over the season with Olson and Lounsbury running the ball. And then you got, obviously Esplin and all the talented playmakers that they have to get the playmakers in space. So those are some other things to watch for.
The other big thing for the Snow Canyon Warriors, Green Canyon Wolves game is, I think, dictate the tempo of the game. The Wolves want to throw. They want to get out. They want to throw the football. They want to, spread it out and hit all their good receivers.
And they were doing that early in the year when they were 5-1, but they did not do that the last 4 weeks.
They didn't do that against Desert Hills, but their quarterback, the numbers, I've watched a little bit of his film. He can distribute the football when given time. So I think that is their plan. They want to throw it. They want to have a, high flying, high octane game. But I think Snow Canyon, like you say, they want to run with Lounsbury, with Olson, with some of the running backs, Beathers, get him involved in the passing game. But yeah, I think that the tempo of this game will be very important because I think the Green Canyon, despite their output last week, points-wise, they want to make this more of a track meet, and Snow Canyon wants to control the football and make this a low-scoring slugfest. So I think that the styles Snow Canyon's got to grab a hold of this game and dictate the style, the tempo, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, moving on. Let's jump over to Pineview Skyline. This one, Perry's Power Guide. By the way, Snow Canyon by 1.5 points is the Perry Power Guide differential between Snow Canyon and Green Canyon. So slight advantage Snow Canyon in that game. 3.7 in this game. Pineview by 3.7. I think, Paul, you guessed that 7 would be the line, and it was a little lower than that.
Yeah, I did a little more. In the spotlight, Xavier Kochi, the quarterback for Skyline, he's one of the most prolific quarterbacks in 4A. He has 26 touchdown passes for the Eagles. So this is a team that loves to throw the football. I mean, and I think they're going to run into a team that loves to throw the football in Pineview. So I think this will be a shootout.
Yeah,
100%. It won't be a differing tempo type game. Both teams trying to do the same thing. So Pineview, my big thing for them on the offensive side is go to your guys that have been making you money all season. That is Harris and Yoakum. 26 total touchdowns between the two of them.
Yeah.
So those are the money men for the Pineview Panthers. And I know Colt Falanico is really good, and William in the backfield. They got some other pieces. But in the playoffs, rely on your best players, the people that got you to where you are now. So I would say Yoakum and Harris got to be targeted at least 5 to 7 times a piece.
Skyline 8-3, traveling down there. The 11 seed to take on the 6 seed Pineview Panthers, who are 6-3. They finished third in a very competitive Region 9. If you go back, Pineview lost to Crimson, lost to Snow Canyon, but was able to beat Hurricane, beat Desert Hills, beat Dixie. Skyline does have a prolific offensive attack.
They do.
Xavier Kochi, watch out for this guy. 3,381 yards, 24 total touchdowns. He's got some targets. This is going to be a test for this Panther defense, and I agree with you. It could be a shootout. Skyline beat Tooele and dropped a bomb on them. 53 points scored in their first round win.
And much like Melosi Moores is the leader of the Pineview defense with 103 tackles, how about Peyton Carter for the Skyline Eagles? He averages 17.2 tackles per game, number 1 in the state.
Yeah.
So that is a alarming average tackles per game number. So this guy's going to fly around. He's going to be all over the field.
All right, let's jump over to Crimson Cliffs. Crimson, the 2 seed, taking on the 15 seed Timpanogos. Crimson enters this game 8-1. Timpanogos is 5-5. Second round matchup. Here we go. We know the Mustangs have won back-to-back state championships in the last 2 seasons, and they're a complete team. They don't have a weak link. Timpanogos beat Bear River 41-14 to earn a trip down here to the field at Crimson Cliffs.
Yeah, key for this one is just stay on schedule. Play with the lead, get it out in front. Junior quarterback Tanawai Andresen, he's thrown for 23 touchdowns, 1,500 yards. So, I mean, I think this is going to be not a game where you're going to have to lean on Tanawai. I think it's going to be a Van Daly game. With how much Richardson for Pineview had the 300-yard game,
against Timpanogos,
I think this is a running defense that is susceptible and is going to be a sieve to this line for Crimson Cliffs.
Yeah,
so
don't
give me Van Daly over 150-plus yards tonight.
Well, and if you want to, I think between Cade Shaw and Van Daly, they could probably get 300 rushing.
They probably could.
You know, if they commit
they'll
to
call
that.
the dogs off if it gets to get out of hand on the scoreboard. But I think Van Daly and Shaw could both go for over 100 in this game.
Yeah, and I think that Tanawai, 65% for the junior quarterback completion ratio. He's the real deal. He just got a 3-star rating during the season this year.
Nice.
And he's just a junior. We think Crimson's going to roll in this one. Dedrick Moore, Major Stokes, Nate Entz, this defense, they'll be ready to go. All right, quick couple things to watch for Hurricane. We had Jerry Cowan on the show earlier today.
Yeah.
It's the 4 seed against the 13 seed in the 4A state football playoffs. Highland is 8-3. They are 7 straight wins, and they play Hurricane, who enters this game at 6-3.
Yeah, we kind of talked about the big thing, I think, is that outside stretch run for Jerry Cowan. We had him on the interview earlier in the show. And I think the outside stretch, that's really where Highland had a lot of their production offensively, is just running that easy, simple play. Coach talked about it's lateral and then it gets vertical. So I think the key is stopping that run early, forcing the Rams to throw the football, and their quarterback has 12 interceptions, Brody Dalton. So he's a guy that'll turn the ball over for you. So I think that they want to eliminate the run, kind of the same key for Snow Canyon, because this is such a good running football team, Highland. So
well, and I don't think Highland can get out 20-0 like they did on Dixie against Hurricanes defense on the road, and they're not going to get the turnovers. I mean, the pick six, obviously, the fumble in good field position, like things went against Dixie that I don't think will happen to Hurricane.
I don't think so.
And I think Hurricane's going to ball control, and lean on that potent rushing attack.
Yeah.
You know, Austin McRoberts, 900 yards and 10 touchdowns on the ground. Brody Jacobs, 779 yards. 7 more touchdowns. Dylan Gabriel, 599 on the ground, 5 touchdowns. They run the ball.
They love it. They love to run.
And then they'll hit you with the pass to C.J. Trump for a touchdown when you at least expect it.
Yeah.
And then with Weiniger and Matua, defensively, they're strong. They do have Salvino out for the season. We talked about that with Coach Cowan. You know, you could tell Coach Cowan really loves that kid, and that's a tough one. He had to have surgery, last week, and he's going to be out for 6 months recovering. So they do lose their starting middle linebacker in that one. So here you go, off and running. A couple things to watch for. Again, all games today, 4 p.m. There's a bunch of other games. Ogden and Cedar play today. That's going to be interesting. It would have been Canyon View, but Canyon View got upset by Ogden 14-12 in Cedar last week. So Canyon View bows out, early loss for the Falcons. So we don't get the Iron County showdown twice. So that happens. So that's another game to watch for that we'll be keeping eyes on tonight. There's Corner Canyon's playing Layton, Davis and Bingham. There's Lehigh plays American Fork. That could be a really good game.
That could be good.
There's Fremont Alta is a good Woods Cross Olympics. There's a couple good games in 5A tonight.
I actually want to see a Fremont game. They got this Salisi Moa, who's the number 1 player in the state of Utah and the number 4 athlete in the country, like a nationwide number 4 athlete in the country. He's headed to Tennessee.
Well, you better hope they win.
6'1", 190. Ogden, Utah. I'd love to see this guy play.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like a electric player.
But by the way, speaking of high school sports, congratulations to the Desert Hills girls and the Pineview boys. They both take second at the 4A state championships.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Holding up trophies. So Pineview boys, Desert Hills girls, that was back on Tuesday. They were up there at the Sugar House Park in Salt Lake, and good stuff. A couple second place. So some more good finishes for some of our local teams as the state continues to hand out titles. All right, biggest thing we'll be talking about, you'll be talking about on Monday will be what, Paulie? Is your predicting headlines. Will there be a shot? I'm going to go first. I'm going to say Blue Jays win the World Series.
There you go.
Monday, it'll be over. Dodgers are now plus 250. I don't see any way, shape, or form Dodgers win 2 in Toronto this weekend.
Okay, we didn't firm up our side bet, so I'm going to do it as the predicting Monday's headlines. The Commanders beat the Seahawks in Washington, D.C. on Sunday night.
What is the bet? What is the bet?
Let's just make it a breakfast. This is easy.
No.
I can hold you to that.
No.
Yeah?
No, it's got to be better than that.
It got to be better than that. All right.
Yeah.
What do you think? Quickly, we're running out of time.
I'll tell you off. I'll tell you off air.
Okay. It's fun for the listeners off air.
We got time till Sunday Night Football. You can reiterate the bet on Monday.
All right, I will reiterate.
And and I won't be here to defend myself.
That's right.
Oh man. Thanks to our great show sponsors. Trunk or Treat 2 to 4 at Finley Auto. High school football 4 o'clock. Have a great Halloween, everybody. Thanks for listening.